People ask this question all the time. Can astrology tell me what my career will be? Can you look at my chart and tell me what job I'm meant for? And I understand why. Because life feels certain and career feels like the biggest decision. So we want astrology to give a clear answer. Like we want to hear, you'll be a doctor, you'll be an actor, you'll work in tech. But the truth is, astrology doesn't work like that. And honestly, it's a good thing that it doesn't. Let me explain. A birth chart doesn't contain job names, it contains patterns. For example, Mars shows action, Mercury shows communication, Saturn shows responsibility, Rahu shows ambition. But none of these say this person will become an engineer. They just describe the kind of energy you carry. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine someone has a very strong Mars. Now, people might say, oh, Mars, strong Mars, will become a soldier. But the same Mars could also become a surgeon, an athlete, a firefighter, an entrepreneur, even a bold leader. Mars is not one career, Mars is a force. Astrology shows forces. Life chooses the form. I once saw two charts with very similar career indicators, strong Saturn, strong 10th house. Both were born with the same responsibility signature, but their lives were completely different. One became a corporate manager, the other became a school principal in a small town. Now, if astrology was a job prediction machine, they should have had the same career, right? But no, because Saturn doesn't mean manager, Saturn means you'll grow through duty, you'll mature through structure, you'll carry weight. Now, that weight expresses depends on the person's world. Most people think career is fixed, like the chart stamps something on your forehead. This is your job. But career is actually something you grow into. Let me tell you another story. A man studied engineering because everyone told him it was stable. He did well, good job, good salary. But after 10 years, he started feeling restless. Not because the job was bad, but because his soul was changing. Eventually, he left and became a teacher. Now tell me, was astrology wrong? No, because his chart wasn't saying engineer. His chart was saying you're meant to build something meaningful. At first, he built machines. Later, he built minds. Same energy, different expressions. And that's life. You would have heard such or similar stories quite often. Because Rahu and Ketu change everything. Rahu makes you chase, Ketu makes you realize or release. What you desperately want at 25 might feel completely empty at 35. So, how can astrology predict a career like it's permanent? The soul evolves, desire evolves, the chart is alive, not fixed. I remember hearing about a woman who worked her whole life to become a famous designer. She finally got the recognition, magazine features, awards, everyone clapped, and that night she sat alone and thought, why doesn't this feel like I imagined? That's a Ketu moment. And that happens with a lot of stars and people in fashion industry who are tied with recognition and stage appearance. That's when the soul says, this achievement is real, but it is not the final answer. So predicting career is not enough. The deeper question is, will this path fulfill the soul? Astrology is about that. Here's the uncomfortable truth: two people can have same chart and live completely different lives, because the chart doesn't control your choices, it shows tendencies. But awareness matters, effort matters, healing matters, and discipline matters. The chart cannot predict whether you'll give up early, whether you'll take risks, whether you'll rise after failure, whether you'll choose meaning over money. Astrology cannot measure inner maturity, and that's the point. Astrology also cannot predict history. Someone born in 1500 or 16th century could not become a software developer. Someone born today has careers that didn't exist 20 years ago. So, career is not only karma, career is also timing, society, technology, opportunity. The chart is personal, the world is larger. Astrology is still deeply useful, just in a different way. It can show your natural strengths, what kind of work environment suits you, what responsibilities will shape you, when major shift might come in your life, and what you are not meant to chase blindly. Astrology gives orientation, not a job title. It's a compass, not a contract. So, if you are listening and wondering, what am I meant to do? Maybe the question is not what career is written. Maybe the question is, what kind of work will make me grow? Astrology does not tell you what you'll become, it helps you understand how you become. That is the real purpose.